Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Niko. I got some stories today about gaming for you. A couple of studies going on having to do with, gamers, how their brain works, whether it affects it or not, whether it's aggressive. I mean, are you sick of hearing about all this stuff? Because I sure am. I mean, we all play video games. There's actually a study out right now that says 91% of kids 2 to 17 play at least some video games. So, I mean, literally, you're talking about every kid plays video games. I mean, this one lady, Baroness Greenfield, she's really pissing me off. She just put out an article, and she's basically saying that prolonged video game exposure can actually cause brain damage, make you brain dead. Honestly, how stupid is she? She's talking about kids that will sit in front of a screen for 20 plus hours a day every single day for years. And that is the specific situation that you would need to make what she is claiming happen. And it's just so untrue, and that doesn't happen. People don't. Some people do, but kids, if there's anybody around, don't. I mean, on the other side, on the flip side of this coin, there was actually a study at the University of Bonn in Germany, and they studied the different parts of the brain, and they took a focus group of people that didn't play video games, and then they took people that played video games for at least 15 hours a week. And, to be honest, I hold a full-time job, but I'm a really hardcore gamer. All systems, all games, I will play it. And I definitely play more than 15 hours a week of video games. But I also work 40 hours a week, and I sleep 7 hours a day. I'm getting aggravated about the first article now, about the girl, whatever. But this research at University of Bonn, they looked at two different parts of the brain, and they had their focus group, and then they had their gamer group. Okay? They looked at the amygdala, which controls which really, you'll see stuff happening in the amygdala, and it's related to negative emotions. When there's activity there, it's usually having to do with negative emotions, interpreting negative things. And then they also looked at the left median frontal lobe, which that is attributed to where fear and aggression happens in your brain. Okay? So, what they did was they took the focus group, the gamer group, they showed them some images. Oops, sorry about that, covering up the lens. They showed them some images, some having to do with video games, others having to do with real life accidents, war victims, some gross, brutal images, okay? Now, in the amygdala, where negative emotions are seen, where activity is seen relating to negative emotions, both groups had the same response. So the gamers react just as negatively to seeing real-life images like that than people who don't play video games. +1 gamers. Now, in the other part of the brain, the left median frontal lobe, that is where fear and aggression takes place. And that is where most people, when they say, oh, gamers are violent, people that play violent video games are violent in real life. Well, guess what? You're wrong. In this study where they showed the pictures, the gamers actually had less of a reaction in their left median frontal lobe, which controls fear and aggression. So when seeing these images, gamers were less aggressive and less afraid because they might be a little bit more familiar with seeing those type of images. So yeah, University of Bonn, 1 up for gamers, love it. The other thing I wanted to talk about is another article with having to do with who is playing games right now. And this basically is saying, the old demographic for gamers used to be men that were, you know, between 20 and 35. They actually said that the average age of a gamer used to be like 37. Which I don't know how they came up with that, because I'm not even 37 yet, and I've been playing video games for 20 years. But anyways, and basically what they're saying is the first generation of gamers is now adults and has kids. So what they're seeing is a lot more parents are playing games, are gaming with their kids. Gaming is actually bringing families together. So, fucking yes. Props to the gaming industry, because they're awesome and they make life better. The very last thing that I wanted to rant for a little second about is this guy, Kip Takes Credit. I don't actually know if that's how you say his name, but I'll call him Kip. So Kip works for the company that owns and makes SimCity. And there's also a guy running for president right now called Herman Cain that came up with this 999 plan for the economy that has to do with taxes. How does this all relate? Well, Kip went to public media and basically said that he thought that Herman Cain's 999 plan was based on SimCity. Come on, dude, give me a break. It's a video game. Yes, there may be some taxes in the video game that whatever, and it may be 9% for each area. But don't try and say that your random choice at putting 9% in your video games had anything to do with someone's who's running for president putting together a realistic financial economic plan for the country. It's a coincidence, and you're trying to take ownership, take credit for that. I'm sorry, Kip, but you're talking out your ass, and you should shut up. Okay, that's it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I'll see you tomorrow.